What up, man? It's your boy Vigilante Styles, man, here, and we're doing another video. In this video, of course, why the fuck am I wearing the same shirt like 3 videos in a row? Because I like it. Cleaned it, wore it again. Yeah, buddy. It's a fucking awesome shirt. It's actually because it's got that 90s flavor. I don't like the new shirts, man. Like, the new shirts just hug your belly, make your belly stick out more, dude. Fucking terrible. Don't get me wrong, like, I'm definitely not a skinny guy, you know, but I'm also not like morbidly obese. I don't know if the video makes me look fat. You know, they say you look 10 pounds heavier on TV. Yeah, you're probably watching this on your TV or on your phone or something like that. I don't know, but I, you know, in reality, I don't want to look 10 pounds heavier because my shirt or whatever is hugging my belly and shit. I like when everything was loose, man. You know, like loose shit. When we wore shit like in the 90s and stuff, it was a little looser. So this kind of reminds me of that. I think this is a Guess shirt, as a matter of fact. And, you know, Guess was kind of a popular brand back then. Not so popular now. I don't think it is, but fuck it, dude. I like the shirt, man, right? It is what it is. Middle-aged guy, dude. But you know, the time you hit your middle age, you guys are young, you know what I'm saying? When you get to your middle age and stuff, you kind of get set in your ways and some shit. And for me, it's like, dude, I like comfortable shirts. I like comfortable pants. I don't give a fuck what the style is. I'm not trying to be stylish anymore. The style is whatever the fuck I'm wearing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be one of those old men, you know what I'm saying? Just wearing the shit that I wore when I was young, because I like the style of that era, you know? And whatever, it is what it is. I mean, do what you want. Anyway, so you guys tuned in for mixing, right? And you're going, dude, were you just using Harrison Mix Bus? What the fuck, now? You can't make up your mind, right? Well, no, it's not that. It's because you guys like my Harrison videos. But this is how I normally mix. And I know I may have said in another video that Harrison's how I normally mix. No. Let me explain something to you about that. So I think I said in another video, I made a harsh mix with Harrison and ran from it. And I go, well, yeah, I could tame it, but when I tamed it, it took away too much and it didn't sound very good. And I go, you know what? As much as I want to love that software, I'm sorry I'm having issues getting the kind of mixes that I personally like from it. And I'm not saying that you got to stop using it because I say so. I think you should continue to use it. If you like, because sometimes it's not even that. You know, it's the sound, but it's also the workflow. Who wants to mix in FL Studio? Not very many people. Even me, I'm kind of like, about mixing in FL Studio. But the main thing, and I mean, I don't want to use Pro Tools, dude. I hate Pro Tools. Ultimately, even my plugins, I don't know why my plugins sound better in FL Studio than they do in Pro Tools. Pro Tools is because they don't use VST, they use AAX. So I feel like the plugins as their AAX are supposed to be the same code and everything, but for some reason they sound different to me. I don't know if it's the way that I'm processing. It's probably the way I'm processing shit in Pro Tools when I bounce the track to disk, as opposed to when I render, you know, a file here. It sounds wonderful. So anyway, let's go into a little bit of discussion about this plugin in particular. Why do I pick this one? You see that I have the others, right? You see I got AMEC, Focusrite, Console N, G, J, 9000J. I got all that shit, man. I got the Lindells right here. I don't know, you probably can't even see it. I got the Lindell 50 and Lindell 80. Why the fuck am I using the SSL 4000E? And why am I not using the Waves one? Because there's an issue, and I've talked about this before, top end. There's a top end issue I'm having with all these other plugins that sounds good on some material, and then when I get to other material, it just falls apart for some reason. I don't know why. I love the 9000J's like punch, and the compressor is really dope and everything, but brittle top end. I don't like that. Can I smooth it out? Sure, but when I do, I've taken away too much. The G is a very close competitor to the E for me because I do like the G a lot also, and it's got this mid-ranginess that I really find vibey. You know, I do like that. I actually love that plugin, I do, and I think there's some mixes I've done with it, and I really do, and especially when I go to Orange Knob, it fucking just sounds like Chronic 2001 era shit to me from Dr. Dre. I love it. But the 4000E has this the plugin does. I don't know if the real fucking console's this way, but the plugin seems to have smooth top in that I really, really enjoy. Does this thing alias? Apparently it does, but it pushes the aliasing down to a point where you don't hear it. It's like 80 decibels below the audio. So you don't fucking hear it. It's inaudible aliasing. So I'm cool with that. Fuck yeah. I don't, because I mean, it's a warm sounding plugin. I don't hear any harshness. This is the only plugin, as a matter of fact, out of all the ones that I've used, that seems to give me a good smooth top without harshness. I mean, it just sounds, and you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds analog. I'm not gonna. Does it sound like a real SSL 4000E? Fuck if I know. I've never used one, right? I just know that whatever I mix on this sounds fucking analog, for one. Number one. Number two, it also has vibe similar to shit that I liked, music that was mixed in the 80s and 90s. It has vibe, dude. It's fucking a vibey fucking plugin, dude. And when you're talking about console emulations, because I've told you about this, recreating a console on your computer is the best and most efficient way for your CPU. But second, it makes sense, dude. You don't need all that other shit. You see, I have a plugin stack going right now. Everything behind this was all fucking like production decision shit. I have this balancer. That's my gain staging into pre-box because I wanted the saturation from pre-box. I wanted this preamp. I'm probably going to get rid of it because I don't think I want it. I do want gross beat because gross beat is doing a side chain ducking thing for me. Because it's already starting to tell you what kind of beat this is, right? So this is kind of like an EDM style beat. I'm going to get rid of pre-box. Fuck pre-box. I don't need it. Fruity balance, will leave that. I'm gonna go with gross beat and this, because really here's the plugins that you need to mix with this and then this. That's it. The only I'd say get a de-esser and a reverb you like and a delay you like. But you can use stock shit. Like FL Studio already comes with these things, so you don't even have to buy them. Right? Just use the stock shit. Stock shit is fine. But they don't have a channel strip stock for FL Studio, and even if they did, I probably wouldn't want to use it because it doesn't have the vibe like this bad boy does, right? SSL 4000E. I just love the sound that I get with it, and whether or not I'm going to change my mind about that in like 2 weeks is debatable. Maybe I will. Fuck, I don't know. But right now, actually, this is most of the stuff I've mixed. Like you go to my SoundCloud or stuff, SoundCloud /Vigilante Styles. Go there. Almost everything that I have mixed there, almost. There's like a couple things that it's not, but most of the stuff that I have mixed on there was with this plugin. So I've used this consistently now for at least probably 2 or 3 years. Well, I think I bought it 2 years ago. So I've used it consistently for fucking 2 years on pretty much all my shit, dude. Like, I love this. It just has a vibe. I can't explain it. It just sounds fucking good. It sounds great on my monitors. It sounds wonderful in the fucking car. All my mixes always pass the car test with this. Doesn't matter what I'm mixing either. Old school shit, new school shit, fucking middle school shit, high school shit, college level shit. No, I meant to say old school or new school shit. Doesn't matter. It sounds good with this plugin, and I'm mixing in FL Studio. And I know you guys don't watch these videos as much because it's a minute, man. It's boring, right? We like the look of Harrison Mix Buzz, dude. It's sexy looking, right? Oh, it looks like I'm fucking using a console, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, but this sound, I feel like is the best you can get in the box, dude. I really feel like this is the best you can get for what I like to hear for me. So this is my baby. You might see me mix with other shit in other videos, and yes, I will play around with other plugins from time to time, play around with different channel strips. But ultimately, serious project, this is going on. I know other people like the 9000J. Fuck that, right? I like the 4000E. And whether it sounds like the real console or not, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Don't give a fuck. Here's another thing too, man. I was just talking about that shithead who runs that channel, Audio Animals, right? I'm talking shit about him two videos in a row now. Because he's a fucking idiot, right? He is the fucking stereotypical bastard asshole that I do not like on YouTube, right? Because he's the asshole who tells you analog is better, digital sucks, that kind of guy. Use me. You'll never, no plugin will ever sound analog. Bullshit. Bullshit. This fucking plugin right here sounds analog, right? And you're going to hear it while I'm mixing. It fucking sounds analog. Does it sound like his analog gear? No, because he doesn't have an SSL 4000E in his fucking... He's a mastering engineer. He's not a mixer. So I'm going to mix with the shit that I like. Also, you know what else sounds analog to me, dude? This Townhouse bus compressor. Does it alias? Fuck yeah, it does, but it sounds fucking wonderful. You know what I'm saying? It sounds good. I love the fucking... This compressor sounds bad fucking ass. So, you know what... As you grow as a mixer, you start realizing all the shit you're learning on YouTube, except for my channel, of course, is all bullshit. Do I know everything? Fuck no, I don't. I just know what my ears tell me, man. And my ears, or maybe they're fucked up. Hell, I don't know. But my ears like this sound. And it sounds good. So, you know, fuck what these other guys are saying. I don't use this plugin. I don't like Brainworks or whatever. Fuck them, you know? Think about this. All these hits are being made with Waves plugins. What do you think almost everybody in the audio engineering industry thinks about Waves as a company? Trash, right? Because they're scam artists. They put out good plugins, but I feel like they scam people with the way that they do their business. It's not a total scam. I mean, you're getting good products from them. They make good products. But the way they do fucking business is complete dog shit. Like, that's why people hate them. Update plans. Dude, like half my fucking Waves plugins that I paid for don't work anymore. And I'd have to buy them over again. That is bullshit. That is bullshit, Waves, right? You guys need to fucking... I'm gonna keep talking shit about you guys until you guys fix that shit. All the plugins that you know that you can go into my fucking licenses. They know every plugin that I've ever purchased. Dude, make them work. Give me free updates. Dude, what FL Studio does. I'm just recently, right now, FL Studio gave me a free update. It automatically downloaded it, and I just installed it. I'm running on the fucking latest version of FL Studio 21. I don't even know all the new shit that I have with this yet. Well, actually, since you guys are here, I might as well take a look. I mean, fuck, why not, right? What's the new shit they gave me? I feel like there's a new plugin in here or something. What is this? All right, hold up. Add. No. Okay, it's one of these plugins, I bet. Dude, okay, so I got Luxverb, multi-band delay. I think I've had that. I don't use it, but I've had it. I feel like something's different over here. Vintage chorus. Wait, don't they have... Oh, there's hyper chorus. There's new shit is right here. Hyper chorus. Dude, what the fuck is this? Well, let me try it like on a synth or something. Hold on, I'll try it in a little bit. See if I like it. But yeah, there's like new shit, man, in here. You know, all sorts of new shit. Apparently they're going to have something. I don't know if they have it yet. I don't know if this new update had it or if they're going to have it. But soon FL Studio is going to be able to have stem separation from a dude, like what fucking Isotope was doing with the music rebalance. They'll be able to take like a fucking like an entire song, right? Like a mastered song, and then you can be able to isolate like drums out of it, vocals out of it, bass out of it, pianos and guitars and shit. It's gonna not be perfect, but like for remixing basically, because people, you know, this is a producer's DAW, you know, so guys and DJs and stuff like that might want to, you know, do a remix, grab acapellas where you can't get acapellas, right? So you can take like an existing song, get the acapella by ripping out the other elements, and then making your own new beat and making your own new version and stuff. Derivative works, I suppose. So I mean, that's cool, man. You can do that, man. I love remixes anyway, man. So let me start mixing here, but before I do, like I said, this is the kind of shit though that I've never liked about people like Audio Animals, right? If I can telling you that analog is it, and you can never get that sound in the box. That is total fucking bullshit. But I'll tell you what, there are some plugins that don't sound like their analog counterparts very well. Okay, I'll give you that. But that doesn't mean that overall that plugin doesn't really have analog character. That's horseshit. Because ultimately what we like out of analog is fucking saturation. That's what it is. Depth is caused by, a lot of the times, the saturation. Also, channels, right? They talk about clean channels. Dude, you can't get any cleaner than digital in between channels, right? The whole, in Studio One, they have to emulate the crosstalk. There's no crosstalk that actually happens in channels here. So we have the cleanest channels possible in the box. But then they talk about channel tolerances. Okay, I'll give you that. This is why we have TMT, right? This is why I like this plugin also for that, because it gives it width. A little bit. They say, oh, I get wider mixing analog. True, because each channel has a little bit different variances between each channel. This is why we have TMT on Brainworks plugins. Okay? So ultimately, they really thought this thing through. This is a fantastic, wonderful, probably the best, in my opinion, channel strip that exists. I don't think they could make new ones. Now they have all these plugins with fucking AI in it. Dude, that's another thing that is going to fuck up music. Don't get me wrong, AI is good at a lot of shit, and I think it can be good at mixing and mastering. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to not. Mixing is a creative thing. Okay, AI is not creative. AI is logical. So it's going to be all science, and that's where you get those boring, cold fucking mixes from, right? Because it's like, well, technically, this is a perfect kick drum waveform. This is a perfect snare drum waveform. Perfect. But perfect sucks, right? That's why we like distortion. That's why we like channel tolerances with non-linearities. Why we like non-linearities. We like that shit. But at the same time, when that dickhead from Audio Animals is over here telling you that fucking his analog gear can never be replicated in the box, he's a fucking liar, dude. I understand he's trying to get business, but he's a fucking big time, super fucking liar, right? And anybody who says that shit, they usually, think about this, name one motherfucker who's got a rack of analog gear who says the plugins sound better than his gear. They never say it because they spend a lot of money on that fucking gear. That would be like me buying a fucking Rolls Royce and admitting, right, that this new, I don't know, a brand new fucking Toyota that's built to the same specs of the Rolls Royce. I'm not saying that there's one out there, but let's imagine there was. I would say that, well, your Toyota will never be a Rolls Royce. You know, that kind of shit. And I'm like, dude, this Toyota is probably as much of a Rolls Royce as a Rolls Royce, and even better because it's fucking got other shit within the fact, within his, Toyota that the Rolls Royce can't do. And I go, that's the thing about what makes this superior is I can control the amount of saturation. I can control the amount of noise. I can control the amount of anything that I want. He can't control that with his analog gear. So fuck him. And then he talks, and then aliasing, that's another fucking stupid thing. Another buzzword being touted out by fucking idiots who don't know jack shit about audio. Okay, aliasing, yeah, it's a problem when there's too much, right? But so is also distortion when it is too much. That is a problem. Okay, those things are a problem, but little bits of it go a long way and they sound fucking wonderful. What? Aliasing sounds wonderful? Aliasing, like I said, is pushed down. If you don't hear it in your music, then who gives a shit? I never get a harsh mix with this. So who gives a fuck if it aliases? Same thing. You gotta stop using decapitator because it aliases? Are you fucking stupid? I mean, and here's another thing. Before we get into all that shit, if you guys are doing hip hop music, man, bro, our music has had aliasing in it for a long time because that big sex. Let me tell you something about this. Another fuckhead I had to talk to about this. Who was talking about his hardware fucking 12-bit sampler is always going to sound better than a computer. You are a fucking idiot. Let me tell you why you're a fucking idiot. Because it's a 12-bit sampler. My computer, 32-bit, 64-bit, right? 32-bit floating point audio, way fucking higher quality than 12-bit. But it's warm. Saturation, dickhead. Right? Dude, this is why I you know what I'm saying? I have almost no tolerance for talking to people like that. Because that's what it is. You go, well, but because I go, look, take apart your stupid fucking sampler and what the fuck do you see in that motherfucker? Do you see fucking microchips in that motherfucker? Well, your computer has microchips. And guess what? Your computer's got better microchips than that piece of shit. So how can you tell me that I can't ever get the sound of an MPC in this fucking computer? Bullshit. Because you know why? What makes the sound of the MPC? It's 12 bits for one, so you gotta have a bit crusher. And then it's saturation. Right? I'll tell you, here's a plugin right here. You know, and I've used an MPC before. I can tell you this. I will tell you, I haven't used an MPC 60. I used an MPC 3000 back in the 90s. Okay? I'll tell you this. This plugin right here is set to MPC 60. Now, the MPC 3000, I think, might have been 16-bit. Oh, here. I'll give you something better. Let's go to Vintage Sampler, go to ASR 10. I definitely have used this. I've used an ASR 10, and I think when you mess with this preamp knob a little bit, I think that but you got to think of the sample discs and the sounds or whatever the quality of the sounds that they put through the sampler. But otherwise, I feel like music that has run through this fucking plugin, right? And you can play with the preamp a little bit. I like to turn the dithering all the way up, and that's just it's dithering noise. You don't hear it, right? But it's there just to fix quantization errors once again. But this sounds like an ASR 10. That's what it sounds like to me. It has the same quality as a fucking ASR 10 fucking keyboard. Right? Wonderful. So, I mean, you can never get that sound in the computer. Bullshit. Right? Bullshit on that. So, once again, fucking morons. You know, don't get advice from fucking morons, dumb fucks like that. Because it's stupid. For one, they don't understand their computer. And two, they're just justifying the money they've spent for all that shit. But yes, you can get that sound in your computer. Yes. Dude, we're in 2023. Anything that you could do in the 90s, bro, you could do it in your fucking computer today. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. All that shit. Now you go, well, what about those sounds? You know, none of these synths sound as good as the Roland sounds, you know? Remember the good old Roland sounds like the XP60, XP80 keyboards, the JV10, the Juno, and all this other stuff? Well, you can get that sound in your computer now, dude. Your computer can replicate all those fucking sounds and make it sound just as good as that keyboard. You just need to have a VST plugin that obviously has been coded well that can give you the sounds. Now they have the Roland Cloud. I don't use it, but I hear that you can access all those sound modules and stuff through the cloud, and therefore then boom, now you have the fucking shit. Korg has a Triton plugin. Dude, I've used the Triton plugin, and let me tell you, it sounds exactly like their fucking expensive fucking keyboard. I used to work at Guitar Center back in the late 90s, and a Triton keyboard back then was like $2,000 for like 88 weighted keys, and you had the touch screen, which breaks on people just like your phone does, right? But let me tell you, that fucking plugin from Korg makes it themselves. Korg Triton Extreme, I think is what it is. Exactly. Total 100% millionth to the degree exactly sounding like the fucking Korg Triton. All the sounds, the drums, you name it, exactly nailed it 100%. Not even 99.9, 100 exact percent sounds the same. So fuck that shit. Fuck what Audio Animals and any motherfucker like him has to say about analog versus digital. Bro, we're beyond that shit. It's all about analog emulations versus digital at this point. You know, analog emulations versus none. That's the argument we're having today. Analog versus digital is long over. Fucking digital can sound analog now. Wake up. You know, pull your head out of your ass, right? So anyway, now I've been talking for, I don't know, probably 30 minutes about this shit. How about now we start a mix? So I'm gonna start on this kick drum. We'll start on this mix. I'll start working. I'm gonna pull plugins off because I don't feel like I need the saturators. I'm gonna pull plugins off and just really try to stick with the 4000E plugin. And anyway, let me mute my mic and let's go. There, I'm done. Awesome fucking beat, isn't it? Dude, what a fire beat I made there. Even if I'm the only one who thinks so. That's okay. I'm my first customer. But anyhow, this is a beat I made here in FL Studio. Anyway, did you see how easy it was to mix that shit? That's what I'm saying, man. You guys don't have to do. Basically, I removed plugins. You know why I removed these plugins? Like I removed Pro MB and I removed like Fruity Balance and stuff like that. And I removed Prebox. I got rid of Prebox because the whole reason of having it was to try to warm the tracks up. That goes to tell you where I was going to send this. I was exporting the tracks and then I was going to send it into Studio One, and I think at that time I was going to use probably a more transparent sounding plugin, like an SSL native plugin or maybe the 9000J plugin, I can't remember. But that's why I felt like I needed to warm it up. I don't have to do that when I have this bad boy already in. Now, you got to be honest with yourself, otherwise don't lie to yourself. That mix sounds analog. I'm going to tell you right now, that mix sounds analog to me. I don't hear a difference in that and shit that I've listened to that's analog. Also, you see my gray hair? Dude, I grew up on analog music, right? I should know what fucking analog sounds like. I am not a dude who was born yesterday who has no idea what fucking analog sounds like because everything was digital my whole life. It has not been that way. Bro, I was born in the 80s, man. I was a little kid all through the 80s, man. Everything was analog. That's why I like 80s and 90s music. Because, well, for one, I felt like society, everybody was just happier back then. They were happier back then because they had more money, man. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? I think if we had money today, we'd have a lot of upbeat music nowadays. But everybody's broke as a joke, man. Not making any money. And fucking the news sucks. Everything sucks. So now everybody's making music that sucks, right? That's really what it is. But back in the day, dude, everybody was happy and upbeat because they were balling, man. They had money. People talk about it's a cocaine era. Well, guess what? Cocaine costs money, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So you can have fun. So, you know what I'm saying? Costs a lot of money, as a matter of fact. So, you know, obviously, people were balling like that and making money. And, dude, they were living it up, man. People were living it up. They weren't sitting on their computer and socializing through the computer and going, you know what I'm saying? People were actually seeing each other in person and going out doing shit. Oh, but pandemic, this and that. There's more, but don't get me started. That's bullshit, too. I'm just going to tell you that, right? Don't believe nothing that you're being told right now. Everything is bullshit across the board. Everything's bullshit. I'm telling you guys about the music shit that people are telling you. Bullshit. I'm telling you the way fucking all the news shit. Bullshit. Don't believe it. Be a skeptic, right? Now, use your own mind. You know what I'm saying? Test for yourself. Come to your own truth. Because your own truth is the truth. Because that's how science is. Science is, I have a hypothesis, I test it, and I came to a conclusion. Now, if your testing is wrong, well, then you got a wrong conclusion. But either way, that's much closer to the truth than it was without testing the idea. Test the news. They said it's going to rain tomorrow. Let me go outside and take a look at the clouds. Does it feel humid in the air? Do I see the clouds building like they normally do before a rainstorm's coming? Let me check the radar. Right, here's the radar. Here's where storms actually are. Let's check the radar. Let's watch the radar as the storms are moving, right? And I go, well, it kind of looks like it's coming my direction. So therefore, I've tested the idea. I come to a conclusion that the news said it's going to rain. They don't know exactly the time. Maybe they say a certain time. I'm not sure the time, but I for sure, I believe the news is right. It's going to rain. Okay, boom. Do that with all fucking news. Everything. Political shit, you name it. Test it all. Go research the shit yourself before you make a decision. Because I know, like, next year in USA, we're going to have another election. And, you know, regardless of whoever wins, man, I just hope that people fucking, like, think about who they're voting for. Like, and I don't care who it is, right? Left, right, center, don't matter. If you believe in this person and you believe what they're going to do is going to be better for the country, then vote for them. But check them out, you know, check out their history, their voting history. Check out if they stand for the shit that you believe in. That's the main thing. Do they stand for the stuff that you believe in? If they do, well, then it makes sense to vote for them because that's what you believe in. You believe in this policy. You believe in people should be going through this. You believe that whatever tax money should be allocated for this. Or maybe you believe that being taxed is, why should they take my money from me? Okay, well, fine. If you believe in that, look for a politician who supports that issue. Are they in anybody's pockets? Are they, what I'm saying? What companies are backing them? What rich billionaire has got his money in their campaign and stuff like that? And then check out that guy's agenda, because more than likely your politician is going to follow that guy's agenda. They don't know you personally. So I'm just saying, do your research and vote for who you think represents you the best. Okay? Don't listen to the news and their bullshit about saying this guy's bad or this guy's good or this guy's senile, this guy's not. Okay? Fuck all that, because they have an agenda. The news has an agenda. Just like I'm telling you, same thing with these audio engineers on YouTube. They have an agenda to sell you into something. That's the thing. They have an agenda to sell you something. So they're going to tell you, like, for instance, how do I know that audio? Well, for one, we already know that he's selling you into his service. That's the first thing, right? So he's going to tell you, you'll never get his sound in the box. Horseshit, yes, you can. You can actually get plugins that do all the same shit that he does. They might not have plugins for some of the gear he has. That's his advantage. But that doesn't mean that if they made a plugin, you would be able to get his sound. That's bullshit. Dude, they just made the fucking Avalon, dude. Sounds like a real Avalon. Boom. End of story. Okay? The only people it doesn't sound like a real Avalon to are the people who spent all this money on the hardware, because they're never convinced. Even if it sounds the same, they're going to try to find something wrong with it and then say, it doesn't sound exactly like my Avalon in my studio after I've left it on for 2 hours. Right? That's where I get that certain sound, and they don't have that sound in the plugin. Whatever, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, same shit. So I'm telling you, same fucking bullshit across the board. You can't believe these people. They have an agenda too. I don't have an agenda. I'm in nobody's pockets. No, okay, if I had an agenda, I would steer you more toward Harrison, because why? They comment on my videos and say nice things about my mixes. And even one of the guys who works there wants to do guitar tracks for me and stuff. Right? But you know me, I'm not in their pocket. Right? I'm telling you, I like Harrison. But I also told you that I'm having an issue controlling harshness with their software as much as I like it. And on top of it all, I'm not getting the vibe that I like. That's just my personal thing. I'm sorry. It's nothing to do with them. They don't pay me, So there you go. I'm in no one's pocket. I'm not in Wave's pocket. If so, they would be pissed off that I talk shit about them so much. You know what I'm saying? Brainworks. I'm not in Brainworks' pocket. I don't know anybody who works there. Right? I know none of them personally. None of them know me. None of them have ever commented on my videos. None. Right? So I have no reason to tell you, get Brainworks. I'm telling you, get Brainworks because I like it. And you want to know my opinion, that's what you watch my videos. I like it, and then I mixed with it, and I'm sure you probably like that mix. This is a pretty dope mix, you know what I'm saying? And I make dope mixes with pretty much anything. But don't get me wrong, this mix just sounds good, man. And I like the plugin I'm using. I'm getting a good sound out of it. So there, motherfucker. I'm in no one's pocket. I'm telling you the truth, man. That's why I use their shit. And if one day there's some better shit that is even lower on CPU and gives me the sound that's dead ringer for some certain hardware that I think is going to give me a vibe, wonderful. I feel like I'm getting the vibe that I want with this plugin, though. I do. And like I said, I may play around with other ones, but for the most part, for serious mixing projects, I'm usually going to stick with this. Okay, and what did I do? I trashed a FabFilter plugin on my last video because, yes, the de-esser sucks, but Volcano is cool. Pro Q3 is okay. I never need it, but if I thought maybe I would need it, I could use it. I have it. Pro L2, the limiter, I think is good. It's nice. Timeless. Ooh, Timeless is wonderful. It's a delay. Pro R, the reverb, fire. But I really think that Luxverb and FL Studio is better. Oh, and by the way, FL Studio don't pay me. I pay them to have FL Studio. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what else to say, you know? Like I said, I'm in no one's pocket. And that's that. I think I did a video on RipX. And that was the only people that reached out to me. They reached out to me to like make a video about RipX. And I don't have it installed on my computer anymore, so I'll tell you that. RipX is not trash. It's just I don't have a need for it. I don't have a need to rip MIDI off of a audio file. I tried it. I thought it was cool, but I don't need it. So I got rid of it. I thought it was just taking up space on my computer, man. I don't have a unlimited hard drive space. I also play games on this computer. I play Halo Infinite on it, so I need space for that. So I don't have input lag when I'm playing games. So I mean, is what it is. So plus a big space so I can do these videos and stuff for you guys. So anyway, if you guys like my videos, man, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You want to know the truth, but the truth according to what I'm researching, what I find. Sometimes I think I know the truth on something and I find out I don't later, and it is what it is. I make mistakes. I'm fucking human. It is what it is. But at least I'm trying to be as honest as possible about what I'm teaching you guys. Okay. And if you guys notice, like when you see me mix and stuff, like I'm using very low ratios, that's because that's that SSL trick. You can see, actually, there's a couple other guys who talked about this trick. And I go, this is a really good trick. I tried it. It's a really good trick because I never like too much compression on anything anyway. So I like the idea of a low ratio kind of compression. That means that the track largely breathes and then it hits the compressor and it gets a cool little, of course it's controlled well, but it also has a nice tone. And then you just move on to the next thing. I use and by the way, for those who don't know, I use a fast release on drums because I want the compressor acting and then letting go immediately. I don't want I don't want the compressor working too hard on drums and stuff. Now on basses and all the other instruments, I want the compression to be more medium release, so I want it to hold on a little bit more, and that's to control those sounds a little better and keep them at a kind of a nice even tone or even level, so it's easier to mix it, in the context of the other sounds. So anyway, that's that. So it's your boy Vigilante Styles, man. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and like I said, you come to my channel, you get the raw, right? You get the straight up facts. I don't have sexy fucking graphics, nothing. You can literally see the fucking little the little window, you know what I'm saying, when I'm like closing shit out, opening shit. My OBS, that's OBS Studio that I'm using to make this video. You're literally seeing that shit. There's nothing. No badass intros, no nothing or whatever. Just me talking, kind of like a podcast in a way, and then me mixing. And you get to see some things that might help. A lot of you guys that subscribe to me too are producers, not just engineers. So maybe an audio engineer might be going, well, that's a little too simple. I would probably get dig more in the weeds, than he is. About a mix, but overall, yeah, it's decent sound. But a producer, on the other hand, makes the beat, and then you want to get a quick mix. That's another thing. All right, before I go, one last thing about AI plugins. AI plugins is the new bullshit buzzword of the day, right? AI fucking plugins. Don't get me wrong, I like Master Assistant, but that's because AI is good at mastering, right? Mastering is just fine-tuning shit. That's what mastering is. Getting it loud and fine-tuning the EQ, just perfecting it. AI can do that because it is small moves. It's small shit. That's basically what mastering is, to get your shit ready. Get it loud. You don't have, because if your mix, you have to do a lot of shit in mastering, dude, your mix is fucked up, right? So go back and fix your mix. Otherwise, Master Assistant theoretically should be able to get it, like pretty much dial it in. If your mix is already fire, if there's very little for a mastering engineer to do at the end, Master Assistant, that's all you need. You only need like a mastering engineer if you make trash mixes and you need a lot of fucking help fixing your mix. Now, mixing is a whole different art. And this is where I go, AI is not there yet, right? Because mixing is vibe. Mixing is still, I consider it part of the production process in a way. And I find it like when people use AI plugins for that kind of shit. That's why you see a lot of these motherfuckers on Twitter now going like, oh, professional mixing, mastering, industry quality, all this other bullshit. And you know damn good and well, I can get your turnaround like 15 minutes. Well, really? Like, okay, cool. I mean, I'd mix this in like 5 minutes, maybe 10 or whatever. But I mean, I'm mixing it. I'm not using AI. You know what I'm saying? And it's like same shit. These guys are mixing quick, but then they're using like AI plugins, you know. And I guess for consistency, I suppose. But here's the problem with AI plugins, man, is they suck. They suck at mixing. That's the problem. It does just EQ and compression usually. Sometimes it does like what they call it, parallel. It does weird shit like parallel shit. I think the tools that they give the AI plugins are dog shit, to be honest. Like I love Isotope. The mastering is wonderful. But let's be honest here. I kind of think Neutron sucks, man. I think that at the end, you just get this boring fucking mix, man. It's like, oh, is it technically right? Even then, I don't know. Oh, it has unmasking features. All this bullshit that you don't need. Unmasking? How bad are the recordings, you know what I'm saying, where you have to worry about unmasking something? I mean, your ear can clearly hear the difference between when the bass ends and a kick drum begins, you know? And if not, then it's not really an issue per se to do unmasking. Sometimes it is. Sometimes, but that's once again, you get some bad tracks, you know. Otherwise, I mean, if you're the guy making the fucking beat, dude, back off on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you get too much low end on that or whatever. You got tools to handle your low end. I mean, fuck, man, use your fucking filter. That's what I do. I always do that on basses, as a matter of fact. That's not really an unmasking thing. And that unmasking, too, takes away some of the natural tone of that sound in order to make something else pop through. And then your mix just becomes this dog shit in the end, you know? And it's like, yeah, I mean, everything sits, which you think is balanced, but then then you're spending all fucking day mixing. Your ears are all fucked up. That's part of the reason why I got rid of the multi-band compressors on the different channels, is because I had been mixing for so long, I started hearing harshness that wasn't really there. And then I go, this thing handles the harshness very well. So even if these sounds had some harshness, I think it'll control it well anyway. That mix didn't sound harsh to me at all. But the multi-band compressors, that's what I'm saying. The more and more you, because I was making the beat and then I was, you know, so my ears had already been listening to this beat for like about an hour or two. And then that's why I was like, I think I hear harshness. I think I need to put multi-band compression on it to control the harshness, do harshness control. Stuff like that before I export the tracks out. I mean, but now I don't have to do it. I just mix in FL Studio. The only thing I'm exporting is the fucking mix, you know, at this point, and then I'm going to master it in a separate session. But that's what I'm trying to tell you, though. Same fucking shit, dude. People fucking overthink shit. And in the end, this is all you've ever needed to do. And I know mix engineers would go, fuck, thanks, motherfucker. Now I'll never get business. Because people could just sit there and just do what you're doing and get a great mix. Mastering engineers, great. Now I'll never fucking get any business because his asshole tells everybody to use Master Assistant. Hey, man, it's not me, bro. The tools, man. Tools are there now. You know, a lot of the time people needed mixing engineers in the past because they don't know how to run that big ass console. Well, that big ass console is right here now. And if you learn how to use this, you know how to use the big ass console. As a matter of fact, you go, well, here's my master bus. It's just the bus compressor, because that's exactly how an SSL console is. It's those channels summed into the bus compressor. And it's an SSL bus compressor at that. It's a townhouse, but it's an SSL bus compressor. Because it's made from parts from SSL, and it was supposed to be the bus compressor that's on the middle. They call it the center section of the console. That's where you find the bus compressor and the master bus compressor. And that's what this is supposed to be, the master bus compressor. So anyway, townhouse, Brainworks, SSL 4000E, and there you go. You can mix anything with them 2 plugins. The only other plugins I think that you would need per se, like in this case, I'm using Gross Beat. That's only just to do. I can sidechain things, but why? When I just have this, it's basically an LFO, and it's just gonna duck out the sound, at the interval of the tempo, and bring it back in so I don't have to do sidechain compression. I could just simply use this. And I do this over every track that needs it, right? Obviously not on my drums. So, I mean, I'm just saying, don't overthink things. The reason why, okay, now look at this chain here. We have Volcano 2. Well, okay, this thing is a really harsh sounding thing, but I wanted that weird sound. I wanted that. This is where I'm saying I wanted that sound. I wanted that crunchy, really gritty shit. And it aliases everything. I wanted the aliasing because it has a vibe. And then I put it through Fruity Limiter, which is a pretty basic limiter, and it actually monoizes the tracks to a degree. I don't know why it does. It just does that. But I go, that's good. That's what I want. I mean, it's still stereo, but there's a strong mid-range, or mid, talk about mid-side. There was a strong mid when using this for some reason. And then I put Gross Beat for the sidechain ducking effect. And then mix normal with the SSL. And I did that all through here. And why do I prefer the Brainworks over something made by actual SSL? Because they make their own channel strip. Well, because the sound, bro. The sound. This is supposed to sound like the hardware. SSL flatly tells you that their plugins are not supposed to sound like their hardware. It's the philosophy behind their hardware. That's what it is. It's the EQ. It's the compressor response. It's the philosophy behind the sound. It's not the actual hardware sound, which in this case would be the channel tolerances, which SSL would tell you they wouldn't have them if they could control them back then. And it's not the noise of the console, because they work to get rid of noise. That's the whole thing. Noise was just something that happens back then. But we like it, so therefore it's in the plugin now. But it's not in SSL plugins. Harmonic distortion. That's something that just happens as sound passes through electronic transformers, capacitors, and shit. We like that sound. Therefore, it's in this plugin, but it is not in theirs. I think the 4KB, they did put some of those things. They put a Jensen transformer in it, so they're getting some of that. And some other shit or whatever in the 4KB plugin, but they don't do the tolerances. They don't do that. So therefore, it's getting better, but it's still not quite there. It is what it is. So, anyway, dude, I have like allergies and stuff. So, anyway, it's your boy Vigilante Styles. Let me take a look real quick. Okay, I'm good. It's your boy Vigilante Styles, man. Anyway. Gotta go. You guys be good. Take care. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, notification bell. I'm out. Peace.